Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Whether you're watching us live on YouTube at TradeEZ or listening on your favorite podcast platform, we've got you covered. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Stephen Kalayjian, and welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, we saw the bull come out in force, and then we got ugly at the end of the day, and the S&P futures dropped 30 off the highs. Remember, I told you on Friday that if the spiders closed below the 573.50, we were going to get a big sell reversal on the weekly charts, and I'll show that to you. You don't go from a sell to a buy the following week. The market's in trouble here. When you get the weekly reversing to sell, which is the first time we got a sell since the beginning when we got the buy on the spiders in November 17th of 2023. So we've been in that big uptrend on the weekly since November 17th of 2023. Now we just got the first sell signal. So we got this deep oversold condition. I said we're going to get a big explosive rally. My target is like 57.80 to 58.50. We got as high as 57, almost 60 today, right? I still think we're 1 to 2, 3 days away from getting this oversold condition to get to an overbought condition. When you get an overbought condition on the daily after the weekly reverse to sell, I have one thing to say. Look out below. Okay, because I'm telling you, this pattern is going to be setting up a really negative pattern. Now, you saw how fast they dropped in the last 30 minutes of the day. They dropped in the last 45 minutes, they dropped from 57, 59 and three quarters, almost 59, 57, 60, boom, all the way down to 57, 26 here. So they go down a lot harder than they go up. I want to show you a couple great patterns here on the day. But again, that weekly chart reversing to sell on the spiders. Now, the Qs reversed to sell already. But I said coming into today, we had big buy reversals on the spiders on the 60-minute time frame at 3:30 on Friday. And then today at 9:30, ding, 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 we got the big buy reversal on the Qs. So what I was looking for was a really nice pullback on the 15. We got it at around 12 o'clock, the 30-minute and the 60-minute time frame on the Qs reversed. The Qs ran $7. And then when they were making new highs, I said, now remember, you got to remember this now, right? The daily and the weekly on my algorithm on indicator 4 is in sell mode. So anytime you get severe overbought readings in a negative, in a disconnect trend, because the monthly is bullish, the daily and the weekly are negative, I knew that we're going to get cabooshed at the end. I knew that this was going to be a top here, short-term intraday. They pulled in, they rallied. We caught like a 7-8 handle point on the S&P, and then I said, that's it. I think they're going to go back down, and they dropped again. 97 overbought reading in a sell disconnect when the daily and the weekly are in sell mode. Look out below. And both the 15 and the 30-minute time frames had that pattern. We saw Coinbase drop about 4.5. We saw Microsoft off the highs drop about almost about 4. AMD was making new highs above the 106 level, and they got caboose at the end of the day. Nvidia was pushing up here with sell divergences, making the highs into the overbought condition. And we saw Nvidia drop about $1.30. Tesla reversed to sell. I'm going to show you these patterns. Reverse to sell on the 30-minute, correlating with the 15. You short the bounce right around the 2:45, 3 o'clock time period above the 240. Tesla got hurt at the end of the day. Actually, dropped about $4 on Tesla. Really great patterns. But I still think we trade lower tomorrow. We go back up, and we're going to keep drifting to that 57.80, 58.50. If you hit that 58.50, that'd be like a triple top. If you look last week and the week before, we kept on hitting that 58.50, dropping 58.50, and then dropping. So let me just show you what I'm looking at right now. First of all, if you look at the spiders here on the weekly, I want to show you this pattern here on the weekly. So we got this big sell right here. Now again, you see the negative MACD here. You don't get the negative MACD and then the algorithm reversing to sell right here. All right, you see that right there, okay? And then you get the push up. So now what you're doing here, you're going to get an overbought condition. Bring up the daily so you can all see here the daily. You can see the daily is starting to turn up, and this is going to set up some major bear flag. Now you can see right here 576. If you take, that's about eight points from the high. So you're looking at probably like 58.20, maybe 57.80 to 58.20, tops 58.50 on the S&P futures. Then I think we're going to get hit again, because once you get this overbought condition here, once you get this overbought condition on the dailies, and you're going to see this big bear flag. Now this will be the first bounce on the daily after it reversed to sell. But now you're going to get what? The first bounce on the 5-minute time frame. I'm sorry, you're going to get the first bounce on the daily after the weekly reversed to sell, and this is nothing but trouble. This has got nothing but trouble written all over it. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a severe negative pattern on the underlying ETF, the spiders. All right. So let me show you some great patterns today here. I'm going to show you some great patterns today. So I'll remove this here. I'm just going to show you what happened to Apple at the end of the day here. All right. I got caught a little bit in Apple at one point today, but got out of it here. You can see here, Apple had this. First of all, Apple on the day, you can see the 30-minute and the 60-minute time frames here. If you look here on Apple, you can see when you made new lows here on Apple, the MACD is the non-confirm here. Boom. All right. So Apple was making new lows, and the MACDs on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame did not confirm. Okay. And then if you look here, when the 15-minute time frame reversed to buy, right here, the lows are in for the day when the 15 reversed to buy. And if you look here, Apple reversed to buy. So this might be a good long pattern tomorrow on Apple once the 15 or the 30 gets oversold into the positive MACDs in the algorithm. Now the 60 is still negative, needs to close above the 215 level here on Apple, the 215.89. But let me just show you this here. If you look here, all right, this was the push. This was the first pattern in Apple. You had a nice little triple Lindy here. Again, a triple Lindy is a buy divergence and a negative trend. And it does one of two things. It can set up the short on the 15, or it can get the buy reversal on the 15. And that's exactly what it did on Apple. So Apple went from a negative trend to a buy reversal, sell disconnect, 2 out of 3 in the 2 out of 3 time frames went negative. And then when the 30 reversed to buy, Apple then went to a buy disconnect. Here's the first pullback on the 5-minute time frame. You can see the push up. And then when Apple made the new highs here, it was getting late in the day. The Apple got absolutely slaughtered here at the end of the day, down about $1.30. I want to show you the QQQs here. All right, on the 60, this was what really prompted the market, and we were calling longs all morning long on the Qs and on the spiders and S&P. So here it is this morning. We got the buy here. It actually reversed the buy this morning. Ding, 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 when the market opened. All right, this pullback right here, right into the 10 bar at noon. We got not only the 15, the 30, and the 60-minute time frame. This is very rare, okay? And you can see the buy reversal on the 60. You get the first pullback on the, here's the 17th, St. Patty's Day. You got the pullback, and then it just ripped to the upside. Again, deeply, deeply oversold, and that's what happened. If you look at the daily here, now we're only about, well, at one point when we were all the way up here, we were only about $8 away from the 10-bar moving average. I really would like to see the Qs really touch this 10-bar moving average, get this to an overbought condition. We may not get it, This bear flag is setting up pretty nicely here, and then another drop. Again, the weekly does not reverse to sell and then buy in the same or the next week. AMD had some great patterns here today. AMD, you can see the beautiful pullback on AMD after the big push up earlier today. We had a nice couple longs here on AMD off the 15. Here was one, and here's the second best one. AMD, when it pulled in here below 04, it set up beautifully. Look at a rising ADX. I'll bring up the 30-minute time frame as well. This was a really great. This was a Picasso oversold into the. Look at this. MACD positive, rising ADX, big buying pressure, oversold. Look at this beautiful pattern. AMD went north. Boom. Below 04 and all the way up to 06. And then at the end of the day, there was a really great pattern here in AMD on the 5-minute. This is what's called a double blue buy. And AMD reversed to buy here on the 5-minute time frame. Okay. Beautiful pattern on AMD. Reverse to buy. You buy the double blue buy. You can see the 15-minute time frame on AMD right here. You can see the double blue here, right? AMD got the oversold condition on the 5. It correlated with the 15 and the 30 and the 60. But if you look at the 30 and the 60-minute time frame, you can see here the ADXs were rising. So this was a really great long. And then when AMD pushed up to the around the 250 time period, AMD, I recognized that AMD, the MACDs on the 15-minute time frame right here, you're making new highs, and the MACDs to non-confirm. So this was really another great short here. This one, everything got absolutely kabooshed. If you look at Coinbase here was making new highs here, and the MACDs non-confirming. So Apple, AMD, and Coinbase all had the identical same sell divergences up here. All right, let's look at NVIDIA today. When NVIDIA pushed up early this morning on the new highs, right here, ding, 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 the market opens above 122.89. You can see the negative MACDs here. Really, you got a stone wall here on NVIDIA. Very, 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 very big problem here. Tesla reversed to sell on the 30-minute time frame. Tesla, you can see Tesla reversing to sell on the 30-minute right here, and it correlated with the 15. This was exactly around the 10:30 time period. Quite some little couple longs here, but here's the pattern on Tesla. You got the bear flag. It rallied right into the 10 or a little bit above the 10 bar, overbought into the negative MACD, and you can see what Tesla did, got absolutely kabooshed here on the 5-minute. You can see the high here, 140, was it 140, above 240, and you can see the drop here of about $3 on Tesla. Now, we were calling longs in Tesla here. I was calling longs in Tesla. I said, we looking to buy this Tesla here. And when you were making new lows in Tesla, the 230, you can see that the MACDs are non-confirm here on the 5-minute time frame. Again, a buy divergence and a disconnect. The 15 and 30 were in sell mode. Avago was pretty wild today. Avago was pretty wild here today. You can see Avago this morning when it pushed down here. Avago was crazy. It was trading like 194.5 in the pre-market, and then it absolutely just dropped. I'm sorry, it was like 196.5, and then you can see the Avago dropped down to 187.84. And why I said I would look to buy Avago this morning, and it pushed up more than I had thought. When Avago pushed down here on the 60-minute time frame, it was, you can see that the MACD is the non-confirm. All right. And so when you see that and it ricocheted right back up, Avago ultimately, when it pushed up here, you can see this was where I was shorting it right here. It got up to 196.72, and the MACDs were non-confirming. So the 15, the 30, and the 60-minute time frame all led me to buy Avago. But then when it pushed up, you can see that the MACDs were negative on the 15, the 30, and the 60. Avago came crashing down all the way down to 193 and change, pushed back up, and then ultimately dropped down. So from the high here, it dropped about 5. Avago is a great trading stock. And at the end of the day, Avago right here, I saw it getting somewhat overbought on the 15-minute time frame right here. You can see that the MACDs were not confirming on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. Really great pattern. I'm going to show you gold today. Gold was really amazing. If you look at the 15-minute time frame in gold reversed to buy right here on the 15-minute time frame, at 10:30, correlating with the GLDs on the 15 to 30 and the hourly. Now, there's a little tidbit here. When the algorithm reverses to buy and the MACDs are above the pivot, you could take the short. And then look what gold did. 3,008 all the way down to 3,000. So it dropped about $7.60. And then you can see the oversold conditions on the 15-minute time frames. Now, this is okay. And here's another good 15-minute. So really, when gold reversed this morning to buy, correlating with the GLDs, you can see that gold was making new highs here, and the MACDs to non-confirm. So here's the short. Here's one pullback. Here's two pullback, and here's three pullbacks right towards the end of the day in gold, around the 345, and it rallied about $3. So you had really good four pullbacks here on four trades on gold. Okay, again, when the continuous contract correlated with the GLDs, very, very bullish, very bullish. I'm going to show you Lily today. Very good, great patterns. So Lily, looking at the 60 and the 30-minute time frames. Again, this is how we do things here. We do things right. You can see here that Lily reversed to buy at 10 o'clock on the 30-minute, and then it also reversed to buy at 10:30 on the 60-minute. All right. So look at this beautiful pattern in Lily. Oversold into the positive MACD. This was a beautiful long. I think it was also up to 15, obviously. The 15-minute time frame got deeply oversold. Look at this beautiful bull flag in Lily. Lily, beautiful, right above the 10 bar. I was looking to buy this between the 820 and the 823, 824 range. And you can see it pushed up right here, ran about 4.5, 5. Got another nice little pullback here right into the 10 bar, right around the 115 below 22, and it ripped about 6, 7 here. So again, these patterns, when the 30-minute time frame reverses by, you can see the 30 and the 60 really were very strong here on Lily. MACD positive, ADX off, algorithms positive, yellow dots into the blue above the weighted moving average. ADX is off. Very, very strong pattern here in Eli Lilly. Very, very strong patterns here. I'm going to show you MSTR here today. When MSTR reversed to sell right here. Now, this is a monster. You can see MSTR is bullish on the 60 and on the 30. You see this oversold condition right here? Well, here it is. I'll switch this over to the 30-minute and then the 15-minute time frame. You can see that when MSTR reversed to sell right here on the 15-minute time frame, you could have bought this. All right, the 30 was deeply oversold as well. You could have bought this long right here below the 282.5, 282 level, and you can see immediately it ran around 7, pulled in a little bit more, and then ran again about $8. Now, this pattern here you go from a buy trend, meaning the 15 to 30 and the 60 all in buy mode, to when the 15-minute time frame reversed to sell on a sell reversal to a buy disconnect. That means 2 out of 3, the 60 and the 30 are bullish, the 15 is negative. You could buy the deep oversold condition on the 30 and on the 15 against the 30 and 60-minute indicator 4, and you can see what happened. Now, you can see also here, when the algorithm reverses to buy on the 15, I was calling for shorts here and looking for a pullback. So MSTR above 296, dropped nicely about $3 here, and then you could have caught this long, even though it's late in the day, against the 15. First pullback on the 15 after the 15 correlated with the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. Very, very, really great patterns here. Great patterns. Tesla was great. INOQ, another great trading stock. when INOQ is making new highs here on the 15-minute time frames. Again, INOQ, you can see right here the new highs. This was another great short at the end of the day. Overbought, new highs, non-confirmation. Here it is again. If this is today, the 17th at 10, you're pushing up to 25.50. MACDs cannot confirm. Boom, drops 70, 80 cents. These are great patterns. These patterns repeat themselves. And even if you see here that INOQ missed the high by, or touching the highs of the day by 3 cents to 25.47, you can see the drop here on INOQ. Pushed up, MACDs cannot confirm. Diamonds, beautiful patterns on the Dow today. Here, the diamonds. If you're trading the YM futures or just the ETF, a lot of great trades here. You can see that we had the push up here right out of the gate. Boom, again, very deeply oversold on the 15-minute time frames. You can see that the rising ADX here on the 15s. And then what do you look to do? You can see the 30s. The 30-minute time frame still on a very big uptrend here. Rising ADX, big buying pressure. MACD's positive. Look at the yellow dots into the blue, right? Let's look at the 60-minute. Reverse to buy here. Reverse to buy this morning at 9:30 when we open. You can see the yellow dots into the blue. MACD positive. ADX is off. Nice buying pressure here. And then what do you look to do? You look to buy the pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame. Beautiful pattern here. Again, you could have bought this pattern here, 10 o'clock. Here's 1. Here's 2. Look at here's 3. Here's 4. Okay. And then we'll wait till the end. And then here's 5. Now the MACDs are negative here above the pivot. So don't expect new highs here. And that's why if you bought the diamonds here below 420, they ran maybe 50, 60 cents and then dropped. This is the exact pattern that pushed the market down when you had the significant overbought reading on the 30 and the 60-minute time frames. What else here? Microsoft. Oh, Microsoft. I got to show you this Microsoft today. If you look at Microsoft on the 30 and the 60-minute time frames, monster pattern here. Okay. You can see Microsoft on the 60 oversold into the positive MACD. The 30-minute got oversold here. Again, you're in a trend. The 15, the 30, and the 60 were in buy mode. But when you get this oversold condition into a positive MACD, the ADXs are off on both the 30 and the 60. MACD negative here, MACD positive. Yellow dots into the moving average. Nowhere near looking like they're going to flip negative like here. Microsoft goes from, roughly 385.60, 385.80 if you bought it below there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. Look at that. Absolutely Picasso. Nearly almost $7 in 35 in 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, and 3.5 hours. These patterns are very powerful. Okay. These patterns are very, very powerful. What I'm teaching you here is a combination methodology, and these patterns are very, very effective. And I'm telling you, if you do the work, you'll be able to conquer this. You have to apply yourself, be disciplined, and more so, you have to be able to allow yourself time to learn how to do this, okay? And that's all I ask. If you put the time in, this will be rewarding. When I get back, I will tell you what I expect for tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow at 8:30, we have housing starts. And another big red number. I told you it's about 8 of them every month. There is 8 of them every month. And then Wednesday, we have at 2 o'clock the FOMC interest rate decision. I don't expect any rate change at all from him. He's got another 2 months left before he's gone. But again, I don't expect anything. It's the language after he speaks. But tomorrow, let's focus on tomorrow. I don't expect the 8:30 number is a very big number. It's housing starts. So I expect something big. The market's going to move either way. Gold, S&Ps, index futures, and bonds will have an effect at the 8:30 number. Again, it's the strength of our economy, the housing market. So the housing number is going to be a big number at 8:30 tomorrow. What to expect? So since we got a nice pullback on the Qs on the 60-minute time frame today, I expect maybe if we do get a push down and we get a deep oversold condition on the spiders on the 60-minute, that would act as a shock absorber for us to base and then go higher. If the number comes out and it sets the tone for tomorrow, where we're going to get a big push up here, my philosophy, my thinking is based upon reading the charts, the daily and the weekly. If we get to a significant overbought reading on the 30 and 60-minute time frames into the mid-90 range, I say let them have them. Let them have them. Remember, just a couple of days ago, the S&P futures were trading 55.09. We've rallied now 250 points off that low. We still have further to go. We were deeply oversold. You get these aberrations many times, at least 12 to 15 times a year. So this was a great long, but this is not the start of something. Remember, we still are in a bull market because the monthly charts are still bullish, okay? On my work, on my indicator 4, on the Qs, the diamonds, the spiders, the Russell. However, the daily and the weekly are negative. So we're going to have some backing and filling here and some time before this plays out, which I think should be in the beginning of the end of the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, where I think we trend back up. And I do believe we're headed to 6,500, hopefully by my target by year end. So tomorrow, 8:30 housing number. If we drop and we get a deep oversold condition on the 30 and 60-minute time frames on the underlying ETF, the spiders, like we saw on the Qs today, I expect that to hold, and I expect another big push up. If we gap up on the opening, ding, 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 and we push way up and we get to a 95, 97 overbought reading like we saw today on the spiders and the Qs on the 30-minute time frame at around 3 o'clock, you saw the drop of over 30 handles on the S&P, 30 points. Then I think we're going to get another push up, okay? Then look for the pullback for longs. All right, when I come back, something that I really want to show you and explain to you that hit me last night that I think is really important, and I can't wait to share with you. So I'll be right back. So I was sitting at home last night, and I remember I went to a trade show one time, and I met some interesting people, and I came across this young lady, and we got to talking and everything, and then we just started talking about technical analysis, and she had a shopping bag with her, and I said, we went to go get something to drink, I believe, and I said, what's in your bag? And it says, looks like Barnes & Noble. I said, what did you get from Barnes & Noble? And she said, I bought a bunch of books for trading. I said, well, okay, well, you can always ask me any questions you like, and I understand you have a right to do what you want. But she said, well, what should I do? I said, return them. So last night I was here, and I'm not going to show the names of the books or anything like that, but these were books that I had bought, not to read, because I have ADD times 40,000, okay? I bought these books, okay, because one day I want to show people that you don't have to spend money in buying books to learn what we do here. Everything I do is predicated on visualization and repetition. Buying these books save the money, okay? Save the money, all right? Currency trading, Forex trading courses, the complete trading course. Oh, this is the holy grail, right? And then technical analysis book. So I bought these off my shelf because I really said to myself, save your money. What we do here each and every day is unprecedented. I work with some of the biggest hedge funds in the world. They're managers, people I know who are the best of the best. And I have to tell you, what I taught them, they didn't know. They acknowledged it, but I showed them things that they were unfamiliar with. And you know what? It really kicked in. It kicked in with the correlations using the underlying ETFs with the continuous contracts, how to look at divergence patterns, how to use multiple time frames. I've showed them everything, how patterns repeat themselves. So it's important that if you take the time, you sit back and you learn from me, right? And that I'll be able to guide you to become and empower you to become a great trader. Okay. I've been doing this now over 41 years. So I think I think it's time to start listening. And then if you hit your goals, you watch, you listen, and you learn. All right. I'm Stephen Kalayjian. I hope that message kicks in, because you know what? I was walking out. I said, "Oh, I got all these books. I got to talk about this tomorrow." So I wanted to share that with you. So with that being said, thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Please leave a comment. It would be great if you leave comments. I do try to answer as many comments as possible. Follow me on X at Steve Kalayjian. Join my trading community here at sktrading.live. Love to hear from you. You can text me at 914-500-7484. God bless you. God bless the United States. And thank you for watching me here on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. God bless you all. You all.
Thanks for tuning into The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe on YouTube at Trade Easy or on your favorite podcast platform. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, keep trading and stay sharp.